Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Battlefield 6. The game has been out for 3 or 4 days. I've been playing it for a good bit, and I felt like it was time for me to give my unfiltered thoughts and give you a review on the game and talk about every single thing that's in it. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about each category, the UI, the campaign, the multiplayer, the Battlefield Labs, the future of this game. And we're going to talk about each category. We're going to talk about the positives of each category, and we're going to talk about the negatives of each category. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on if you should buy this game, if you should wait, and honestly, the future of this game on my channel. So let's get right into it, guys. Obviously, we have to talk about the thing that you're greeted with right away, and that is the UI. When you boot up any game nowadays, you're greeted with the welcome menu, and it feels like there's always something to put in your face before you can just actually play the game. And I feel like Battlefield doesn't really run into that issue. The issue that they run into is the horizontal menus. I do not understand what the obsession is with these publishers of hiring the same people to do these UI, where it looks like Netflix or Hulu. This is a video game. We're not browsing what movies or TV shows to watch. Now, what Twitter has said is this is the same person that actually was hired from Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, you guys know me. This is a Call of Duty channel majority. So if you know my gripes with Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, the new one, is one of my least favorite Call of Duties of all time. And it started in the menus because I couldn't figure out where I wanted to go. I couldn't find my multiplayer. I couldn't figure out how to do anything. I couldn't get to my settings. And when you prevent people to do the simple stuff in your game, I just think it frustrates the typical casual user. Maybe that's me now, because all I wanted to do when I booted into Battlefield was find a match of, whatever, domination or whatever. And you have to go through the notes and the campaign and then the multiplayer, but then there's a featured tab, and it's like, where is just multiplayer and here's the modes I want to play? So to me, that is off the rip, needs to get some sort of crazy adjustment. I don't know if you can rework it in this game or it's just too late and it is what it is. But I think they need to figure out how to make these menu systems vertical. Now, we're going to continue in the menus just real quickly because, like most of you, I am a Call of Duty guy, so I need to adjust my settings. I have a few things that I need to do with the dead zones and whatever, the small stuff, the sensitivities, the sprinting techniques, the diving and sliding. And so when I went into settings, I felt like I needed to know a different language. There are settings all over the place. There are settings for infantry 6 different times, whether you are on like the generic menu and then you dive into the gameplay menu, but then you dive into the controller menu, and you can get to everything a different way. Here's what I did. I watched an exclusive Ace video. I followed it word for word. And then after that, I just went and adjusted things a little bit here and there. So shout out to my man, Exclusive Ace. I would have been lost without this guy. I would have been clicking buttons, doing this, inverted that. So guys, UI, we gotta do something about that. I don't know what it is, but anyway, let's try to get into a more positive section of this video. Well, actually, real quickly, do I have any positives on the UI? Not really. I said I was going to say something negative and positive with each one. I don't really have a lot of positive to say. I mean, maybe the way the attachments are shown when you click your gun, but that's about it. Other than that, coming from a different game, I felt like this was rocket science. Maybe that gets me in trouble with the Battlefield community. Hopefully not. But anyway, let's move on to something better. I'm just kidding. It's the campaign, guys. Next up is the campaign. And again, if you're subscribed to this channel, we did a video on the campaign just about 2 days ago, and I titled it, the campaign made me pre-order Black Ops 7. Now, that was kind of a troll because it's kind of these jokes going around in the comments, like anything Black Ops does it makes you want to pre-order Battlefield 6. So again, don't crucify me here. We're just talking, we're having some fun, we're joking around. But the campaign to me, man, it started off so strong. Like that mission where you're like at your base and then everything just starts blowing up, you get attacked and you're like, whoa, holy crap, this is insane. And let me preface with this, don't think I'm some noob here. I played a few of the Battlefield campaigns before and I actually really like them. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 1, I mean, that was probably my favorite one. I know it's probably an unpopular opinion, but I just thought they were great. So I was actually really looking forward to this campaign. It's actually the first thing I did. I'm an old-fashioned guy here. I guess I'm a little older now in the gaming world. I wanted to play the campaign before I played the multiplayer. And so, like I said, first mission, great explosions. You got to get out of there and blah, 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 blah. And then I feel like after that, it just fell off a cliff. Whether it was just stuff that didn't make sense, where other stuff felt like it was like this open combat mission. It was almost like you were put into a multiplayer map and it was like, all right, go over and do that objective and then shoot a couple guys on the side while you're doing it. And I kind of got the story, but at the same time, I was kind of like, what in the world is going on? And at the same time, near the end, you're like, there's going to be a plot twist where that girl does something to double cross somebody. You're like, I could have seen this from 400 miles away. With all that to say, the campaign was super disappointing. Now, again, I've been doing my research. Apparently, what you guys have been telling me in the comments, the people in charge of making this campaign were laid off. It was another, I guess, studio doing it, and they got laid off like a year prior to the game, you know, being ready to go. So that kind of explains it, because I feel like they were close and they were getting there, and then if they got let go and somebody else had to swoop in and kind of do whatever they did with this, I can get why this is a jumbled up mess. And again, it really reminded me of Modern Warfare 3, the new one with Call of Duty term, just a tie in there. Kind of a similar situation, like MW2, the rumor was it was supposed to be a 2-year COD, and then Sledgehammer, who made Modern Warfare 3, got thrown onto the development, and the campaign was supposed to be a DLC of MW2, but instead they had to make it into this full-fleshed like idea, and then obviously it was just as bad. I don't know which one was worse, Modern Warfare 3 or Battlefield 6. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below if you played both. But they have a very similar story. Like, it just feels like they were not finished properly, and you can just tell. Also, there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of glitches, there's a lot of voice lines that are out of place, there's a lot of things that you're just like, what is going on? I had a bunch of glitches in the campaign where there was one map where I think we were in New York, and it was right before the guy comes up and takes out your buddy at like the I was gonna say seesaw, but it's not a seesaw. And the mission, like, I was done the objective, but apparently there was just one guy missing and I just couldn't find him, and I was just walking around going, hello. So I ended up having to restart from a checkpoint. I had to do that multiple times, where the game just kind of was like, I'm done, but the game doesn't think you're done. There's still one bad guy missing or some sort of objective it doesn't think you did, so you had to restart. So yeah, that was not fun either. So anyway, campaign, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you guys saw this, if anybody did complete the campaign. As soon as you get done the campaign, it actually gives you a prompt to uninstall it. That's usually not a good sign. And number two, I don't even know if I would install the campaign in the first place. There is not a lot of positives besides, I would say, the overall just destruction and vibe of Battlefield. Like, it is good. Like, I know I'm saying I gotta say some positive things. First mission, really, really good. And the overall destruction and just the graphics of Battlefield just look great. So if you're looking for that and not a good story, the campaign might be for you. But if you're looking for a good story, just uninstall it, or just don't play it. I got you covered. You just watch this and watch my other video. Now, this is probably the section that you guys were all looking for, and this is the multiplayer. And this, I want to be very, very clear in what I say here. There's some things that I guess I might get roasted for coming from the COD perspective, but I don't really care because it's my opinion. And you know what, Battlefield people, you got to have a little grace with these Call of Duty people coming over here. Now, I get you don't want your game to become Call of Duty, and I totally understand that. But some of these people that are coming over are genuinely wanting to try the game and figure out the game, and y'all are yelling at them. Let us figure the game out. Let us have some fun. Let us have our opinions, even though some of them can be wrong. And let's get into the multiplayer. Now, let me say this about the multiplayer. I don't have a lot of negatives. I actually rated the multiplayer on my Twitter, like after 2 days, a 9 out of 10. Now, maybe that was a little high just because I was in the moment and I was in like the honeymoon phase, but I think it's probably pretty high up there. I have a couple negatives, but overall, I want to start off with the response. And I guess this is technically multiplayer because this is what people were trying to do. EA has just been on top of the ball here. The EA app was not working for a lot of people when they were trying to launch multiplayer. It said it wasn't installed and everybody was having issues. And immediately they, obviously they went and fixed it a couple hours later, but immediately they put out this tweet that were like, hey guys, if you were affected by this, we're going to give you blank amount of hours of double XP. We're going to give you, I think they said something like you get the season 1 battle pass for free. And I'm just like, I would love to have that kind of support in Call of Duty. Now, it feels like we're getting that support this year because there's competition. But before, like I said in another video too, is I can think of like World War II, the COD World War II. It had a week-long issue of booting into the headquarters and booting into the game, and we got absolutely nothing for it. And most of us just probably went and played Fortnite because that was the same year. EA is really putting in the effort to be like, hey guys, we're here to fix this stuff. Sorry, it was buggy. We got you. The devs have been so responsive to feedback. And, I've had multiple conversations with multiple devs about questions and what I could see, what I see from my perspective as a Call of Duty guy. And just that is so encouraging coming from a game where you kind of feel like things sometimes fall on deaf ears and you're like, hey, can we get this changed? And they go, we'll be seeing you next year, little bro. Put your pre-order in. And so even Vince Zampella, the guy who, pretty much made Call of Duty and made Titanfall, not by himself, but he replied to one of my tweets because I showed I had do I have it right here? I do. I bought the physical copy of Battlefield 6 and I tweeted it out. I said, call me old fashioned, but I still like the physical copies. And Vince Zampella actually replied back to me and was like, I need to get my own physical copy. Shout out to the devs if you're watching this video. Really appreciate just the responses and stuff like that. So let's get into, I guess I got my notes in front of me. Let's get into some positives and then I'll get into the negatives. Number one, I think the optimization of this game is phenomenal. Like, again, I have the game on Xbox and I mean, this may sound stupid, but I cannot really tell a crazy difference when I watch somebody play on PC and when I watch Xbox. And that's just a testament of how well they've optimized their game. The explosions, the frames, the guns, the sound, everything looks phenomenal. And to me, usually it feels like it's the other way around. It's like, wow, you can really tell that guy's on the console. This is like, hey man, this is great. This is great. So I'm pleasantly surprised. If you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to, get it on console, it might be bad. It's great on console. I'm a console gamer lately. That's just how I feel. I will say I really, really love the fact that they have kind of tackled welcoming the Call of Duty player. Now I know this is good. This is where I'm going to get a little flack, I think. I love the amount of small modes that they have in this game. There's a playlist. I think it's literally called like small map mosh pit or small mode. I don't know what it is. Small team. And it's like the multi-team team deathmatch. It's domination. It's I call it hard point. I don't think it's what it's called in the game, but I love the fact that they do this. Me personally, that's what I like to play in a multiplayer. I still am kind of like in that arena shooter vibe. Like I like the 6v6 or 8v8, whatever it is. And I feel like the maps are phenomenal. Like I feel like they really get The big maps break down into smaller maps very well. I feel like I don't have any maps that I'm like, like this map popped up. Now I know there's not a ton, but I feel like that is super important when you're trying to get somebody to come over from another game. Not everybody's going to click on Conquest and play a 30-minute game with jets and all and all that stuff. Again, if that's your thing, that's phenomenal. That's usually what Battlefield is known for. But I think they've done a great job of booting into these games. Yes, I know I'm going to get in trouble for this as well, but like, I like if I die, there's nobody near me. I don't have to wait for a medic or hold the button to like revive. Like, I can just spawn right back in. And I just think that is a great marketing tool by them to get the people over from Call of Duty to keep trying their game. Another thing about the multiplayer is, I guess this is not really gameplay per se, but their hacker, I guess their anti-cheat or whatever, it seems to be doing a great job. The rumor has it right now is that people are trying Cronus's and they're getting banned. So, I mean, Call of Duty, once again, hello, Cronus's, we got to get this stuff taken care of. And I don't know if they're getting a permanent ban. I think they're getting like a couple-day ban. I think that should just be like, I want to say, maybe I'm being too nice here, but maybe you give them like that one warning of like 3 or 4 days. I think most people know that they're doing what they're doing, but maybe it's some kid that plugs in a Cronus thinking it's doing something. And then after that pops up, if he does it again, get that guy's account out of here. So I just love the fact that they are getting involved and really making sure that this is a good game that doesn't have to run into that crap. So, I mean, again, graphics, sound design, phenomenal. The anti-cheat seems to be working well. The maps seem to be enjoyable for me. The small maps are just, I mean, the small modes are great. I played Conquest a couple times. I feel like I'm gonna get roasted for saying this. It's just not my thing. I don't know what it is. It's fun to do it for a little bit, maybe like with a group of buddies. That is when it is fun. But solo conquesting for me is like, yeah, like it's okay, but it's not the game's fault. It's just like, it's not my thing. So another thing that I want to talk about in this game as well, if you know me, you know that I suck at sniping in just about every video game. Now, Battlefield is no different, but my goodness, do they make it fun. I mean, the satisfaction that I got using the sniper in this game, I felt like I was Pamaj in Black Ops 2, or I was just somebody super important. I would hit a headshot and I'm like, I'm the greatest sniper of all time. Whoever's in charge of the sniping and the gun mechanics, that guy needs to get a raise, and he needs to just get this guy in leadership or something. So with all that to say, there's not a lot of complaints when it comes to the actual gameplay and the actual like point A to point B, you know, like there's not much to complain. It's a very, very good multiplayer product. Like people want maps, people want good guns, people want good gameplay, and it provides all that, and no like frame rate issues on an Xbox. Check it all. Now, a couple of the negatives here, it seems to be, for me, what a lot of people have issue with is, and you got to tippy toe around these topics, because listen, I told you guys, you Battlefield people, you guys just get bent out of shape for no reason. Just calm down. I want to say the leveling is just a little too slow. Now, I get the point of their leveling system is there's not a new there's not a new Battlefield every year like there's a new Call of Duty. So I think that their leveling system has that in mind. It's like, you're not going to get everything in 2 weeks, little bro, and then be bored of the game. So I get where they're coming from. Do I think it's a little bit much for like a casual user that plays an hour after work every day that's not going to have the second gun unlocked after 10 hours? A little bit, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. And so I think that they could find a balance point with that, of like, hey, we get, this is not a 1 year game, so it's gonna take a little bit to rank up, and you're gonna have to work a little bit. But yes, it's not gonna take you 17 years to have the whole game unlocked. So I think that's something that they need to look into. On top of that, I feel like people were arguing like, hey, there's gonna be, you know, you have more, like, there's, like I said, there's a 1 year cycle to the game, or not a 1 year cycle. But isn't more content going to come in through the season passes and season all that stuff too? So it's like there's going to be more guns with the content that's coming in. So you want people to experience all the guns in the game, and then at the same time you want people to be able to play the new ones as well. So I feel like if their content plan is as, you know, robust as what they're saying it's going to be, we want people to use everything, you know? So I think that's an important thing to do. On top of this, the camo argument to me, I feel like there's this, again, it's this balance with Battlefield. It's like you don't want to be Call of Duty. You don't want to have a Snoop Dogg skin for the mastery camo. Totally get that. But as a Battlefield newbie, I at least would want something that like flexes my gun a little bit. Now, I don't know what Battlefield it was, but I believe it was either 1 or 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. They had a gold camo. Now, maybe this again is going to get me roasted, but maybe the final camo is just gold, and maybe it doesn't have to be this shiny, bright gold from, I'm comparing it to Call of Duty, but maybe it's that same gold that there was in the previous Battlefield where it's like, whoa, how did that guy get that gold gun? Like that's got some pop to it. That looks fun. Oh, that's the mastery camo? Oh, okay. I feel like right now, whatever whether it's a camo or a blueprint, whatever you want to call it, to me, it just doesn't feel like that is worth the hours. I believe I saw somebody say it takes 14 hours to rank up a gun fully. Maybe this is COD brain rot, but I'd like to have something a little bit better than that color. But hey, again, this is my opinion. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. We'll talk. So yeah, I think multiplayer overall, phenomenal product. Really enjoyed it. Excited to see what they're going to do for the season coming up. I guess we'll talk about the future plans in a second with season 1 and the other thing. But real quickly, the next kind of area that I want to talk about, the third point of this, the third bullet point is the Battlefield Labs, the labs. I don't hate it. I think right now it seems to be in a little bit of a early stage, which makes complete sense because it just came out. I got to play Shipment. I played a Nuketown. I played, you know, random ones. So I don't know if I'm a noob, if I'm not reading something right, but there were a bunch that I think I got tricked into going into, and I would get into this match and it was a team of 4 just mowing down people who were joining. Like I would spawn in, I would die. I would spawn in, I would die. I think that people were saying it's like an XP farm. So, hey, if you guys were in the charge of making some of these, I appreciate you guys because I just died 500 times in a row and I was confused on what was going on. So I think if there's a better way to kind of like navigate what those are, I actually tried to join one that was like described as a pilot kind of tutorial because I mean, I'm terrible at piloting in this game. It might be the hardest thing in gaming history. So I joined on that, and again, there was no jets or anything anywhere near. It was just me getting mowed down for 30 seconds until I realized, like, I think I got baited. So I think there's a bunch of potential. I think there's people obviously taking advantage of it right now. And then on top of this, I think the future with this is kind of what is the positive of it. Right now, I think it's kind of like, but I think the future, I saw somebody building SOCOM in Battlefield Labs. SOCOM, the video game, 1-to-1 replica inside of the game. So that potential to me is absolutely insane. Whether it's going to be that kind of stuff, whether it's going to be maps that are just iconic in other video games, whether it's modes that are iconic in other video games, just the ability to play that kind of stuff. And hopefully it gets kind of more organized. I think part of that reason is the menu system. It just is an absolute mess. So people are like, where do I find anything? So I'm excited to see what that does. I really think the part that I was most excited for was labs and campaign. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I really was. And those two like were the ones that piqued my curiosity the most. Cause I feel like multiplayer is for Battlefield. It's kind of always just like, it's good usually, except for 2042. So I kind of was just, I wanted to see what they were doing with that stuff. So I think, again, there's potential there. But right now, I think it's kind of just a bunch of randomness. But either way, it's an exciting thing. Battlefield, again, is stepping it up with bringing that into their game. I think it's great for competition. And you know, back in the day, Halo Forge, there was some magical creations with that, and hopefully we'll get more of the same. So the last topic I want to talk about is the future of this game. To me, it seems like they have a very, very good plan in the near future. Now, season 1 comes out, I think, in like 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. And the one thing that I'm excited for, I cannot remember the name of it. I probably should have known this before, but they're pretty much doing an S&D mode. It's 4v4, 1 life. I can't remember if there's bomb sites or not, but either way, I think it's Strike Point. That might be right. I cannot wait to play this mode. I think Battlefield would thrive with this type of mode. And yes, I know somebody's going to comment down below that they've had an S&D mode before. It was called like Rush, but there's not. S&D is just a little bit different, and I like it. I like that they're doing that. Again, I think they're doing stuff like this to pull people off the COD and give this game a shot. If your buddy tells you that there's an S&D mode in Battlefield, you're gonna go, oh, I would try that. Why not? So again, tippable by them. At the same time, I haven't really looked into the content plan. I'm assuming new maps, new guns, stuff like that. They just need to keep doing that. Make sure you are applying pressure to these other games. Make sure you're not just this one good product at launch and then you just fade. There's so many games that have been like that, where it's just like, okay, now this game sucks because they stopped supporting it or they just did something stupid. So keep doing that. And obviously we know the battle royale. Apparently it might silent drop on season 1. It's still scheduled to come out at the end of October. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is what I'm most excited for. I am a BR guy at heart. I loved 2020 Warzone. I loved Fortnite. I love the dynamic of just like the new story every game. And I'm hoping Battlefield can bring like a new, fresh perspective to the genre, because the genre is just so stale right now. I haven't played Warzone. I play it once every like 2 weeks. It's just not fun to me anymore. And I hope that this game, maybe it's the tanks, maybe it's the storm. I think the storm apparently takes you out as soon as you hit it, so it kind of forces people to fight. You can't just sit in the storm or like hug the storm. You know, I said campaign and labs were that was like the actual product, but like the future of this game, I think they will be able to pull a lot of Warzone people away from that game if this is actually a fun experience. Also, I hope they kind of choose the no loadout route. I don't know if this has been like leaked or anything. I hope it's like more like Blackout, where you just have guns on the ground and attachments, and there's no like, let's go to the buy station and get a loadout 5 minutes into the game and then you just run and mindlessly do stuff. Like I want somebody that is not grinding Battlefield every 5 minutes, be able to play the game the same way I do. And I think that's why like a Fortnite is so successful. Everybody can get the gold pump. You don't have to have 18 hours into the game. A chest can open a gold pump, and we're in that random RNG. I love that. So with all this to say, let me just give you the quick summary. UI, awful, needs to be fixed. Campaign, would not recommend it. Would definitely uninstall that or not install it. Multiplayer, phenomenal. I think just a couple adjustments maybe with the leveling up there. I think maybe you could make it just a little quicker. If you want to adjust the camos, by means, go ahead and do it. But I think gameplay wise, I think just like performance wise, it's in a really good spot. By the way, sniping once again, my goodness. Oh man, that gets me excited even thinking about it. I apologize, that's weird. Okay, so and then obviously the labs, I think there's some work to be done, but I think it's an exciting future thing. And then obviously the battle royale, like, could be game changing. I know a lot of you, some people might not be into it, but trust me, if it's successful, it could change Battlefield's trajectory for a long time. With all that to say, would I buy this game if I were you? I do the same thing with Call of Duty, and I'm probably going to do the same thing with this. If you're somebody coming from Call of Duty, I would encourage you to maybe get like EA Play. EA Play is like I think it's like $10.99 or $14.99 for a month, and then you can play the game like while you have it the month, and give it a shot. See if you like it. It may not be for you, So rather than spending $70 on the game, maybe just take that route and maybe it's a little safer. If you're a Battlefield guy, you think you're gonna love this game. You know, there's no reason probably not to buy it. If you're somebody that's got throwaway money and you're gonna be able to buy Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6, do it, man. You know, have fun, play this game, play Call of Duty when it comes out, play them both the whole year, play both the Battle Royales. It's okay to like both games, guys. I got breaking news for you. But yeah, overall, I mean, I got it. I bought it. I'm a COD guy. And just lastly, the future of Battlefield content on this channel. I think for me, just if you made it this far, you actually might care about my channel more than just like a generic review video. But I think for me, I am going to stick with majority of Call of Duty content on the channel. Obviously, I know that's what we've been, you know, talking about in the last week. I think it's going to be a lot more classic. And obviously we'll cover Black Ops 7 when it comes out. But I think Battlefield, I almost feel like it needs to be another channel. I feel like the audiences are so uniquely different that, yes, you can put Battlefield up if you're doing certain things like, you know, whether it's playing the Battle Royale for the first time, campaign, review, stuff like that. But overall, like if I were to do multiple videos in a row, I think that there's less people that would enjoy it than would, and it might overall hurt the channel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to make a Battlefield channel, or I'm going to, you know, I'm going to post periodically Battlefield content on here. Either think about doing a Battlefield channel, either think about doing it on the second channel, or figure out some other plan that I'll keep you posted on. Okay. I know that's really discombobulated, and I know my videos lately have been snip, snap, snip, snap, snip. But I've just been, you know, I've just been contemplating this. I just want to give you my opinions as a creator. Like, it's not just all sunshine and rainbows over here. Sometimes we got some obstacles that we got to be like, all right, how do we navigate this? So I appreciate you watching my Battlefield rant. I guess this is another rant video. But if you're enjoying Battlefield, let me know. If you're new to this channel and you've only seen me from the Battlefield videos, maybe consider subscribing, because we do have some fun Call of Duty content that we do, even if you don't play that game as much anymore. And if you can, leave a like on the video. And I think that is it. I think that's the rant is over, guys. Okay. Yeah, we'll see you in the next rant.